Good afternoon, students. Today I will discuss about fundamental right to education in India. First of all, I will discuss about what is fundamental right to education. Right to Education Act, the Constitution 86 Amendment Act 2002 inserted Article 21A in the Constitution of India to provide free and compulsory education of all children in the age group of 6 to 14 years as a fundamental right, in such a manner as the state may by law determine. When did right to education become fundamental rights? India became one of 135 countries to make education a fundamental right of every child when the Act came into force on 1st of April 2010. The Act makes education a fundamental right of every child between the age of 6 to 14 years. It specifies minimum norms in elementary education. Why in the news? India's landmark Right to Education Act 2009 completes in decadal anniversary for the renewed focus on skilling and higher education. The RTE remains one of the most important catalysts for India to reap its much anticipated demographic dividend. When did right to education become fundamental rights? I discussed earlier. Why right to education is a fundamental right? Why right to education is a fundamental right? Education became a fundamental right of every child in the age of 6 to 14 years through the 86th Amendment by inserting a clause the Constitution in 2002. The Act makes it obligatory for the appropriate governments to ensure that every child gets free elementary education. What are the main objectives of RTE Act 2019? The main objective of the RTE Act is to ensure that each child in India receives quality elementary education. Each child in India received quality elementary education irrespective of their economic or caste background. This includes children who are forced to drop out of school. What is right to education? Right to education provided free and compulsory education to children in 2019 and in force is a fundamental rights under 21A. Why right to education? The right to education serves as a building block to ensure that every child has his or her right to get a elementary quality education. Now we discuss about constitutional background. Originally Part 4 of Indian Constitution, Article 45 and Article 39F of Directive Principles of State Policy had a provision for state funded as well as equitable and accessible education. The first official document on the right to education was Ramamurthy Committee report in 1990. In 1993, the Supreme Court's landmark judgment in the Unikrishnan JP vs. State of Andhra Pradesh and others. Here, Supreme Court held that education is a fundamental right flowing from Article 21. Next, Tapas Mazumdar Committee 1999 was set up, which encompassed insertion of Article 21A. The 86th Amendment to the Constitution of India 2002 provides the right to education as a fundamental right in Part 3 of the Constitution. The same amendment inserted Article 21A, which made right to education a fundamental right of children between 6 to 14 years. The 86th Amendment provided for a follow-up legislation for Right to Education Bill 2008 and finally Right to Education Act 2009. What is feature of Right to Education Act 2009? The RTE Act aims to provide primary education to all children between aged of 6 to 14 years. It enforces education as a fundamental right. The Act mandates 25% reservation for disadvantaged section of the society, where disadvantaged groups include SCs and STs, socially backward classes, differently abled. It also makes provision for a non-admitted child to be admitted to an age-appropriate class. It also states that sharing of financial and other responsibilities between the state and central government. It lays down the norms and standards related to pupil-teacher ratio, buildings and infrastructures, schools working days, teacher working hours. It had a clause for non-detention policy, which has been removed under the Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Act 2019. It also provides for provision of deployment of teacher for non-educational work other than essential census, elections to local authorities, state legislation and parliament, and other disaster reliefs. It provides for the appointment of teachers with the requisite entry and academic qualification. It provides physical punishment and mental harassment, screening procedure for admission of children, capitation fee, private tuition by teachers, running of a school without recognitions. It focuses on making the child free of fear, trauma and anxiety through a system of child-friendly and child-centered learning. Achievements of Right to Education Act 2009. The Right to Education Act has successfully managed to increase enrollment in the upper primary level, class 6 to 8. Stricter infrastructure norms resulted in improved school infrastructure, especially in rural areas. More than 3.3 million students secured admission under 25 quota norm under RTE. It mandates education inclusive and accessible nationwide. Removal of non-detention policy has brought accountability in the elementary education system. The government has also launched an integrated scheme for school education named as Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, which subsumes the three schemes of school education: Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan, centrally sponsored scheme on teacher education. Now we will discuss about limitation of Right to Education Act 2019. Age group for which right to education is available ranged from 6 to 14 years of age only, which can be made more inclusive and encompassing by expanding it to a 0 to 18 years. There is no focus on quality of learning as shown by multiple ASER reports that thus RTE Acts appears to be mostly input oriented. 5 states, namely Goa, Manipur, Mizoram, Sikkim and Telangana, have not even issued notification regarding 25% seats for underprivileged children of society under the Right to Education more focus in being given over statistics of right to education rather than quality of learning, lack of teachers affect pupil-teacher ratio minded by right to education, which in turn affect the quality of teaching. Steps to be taken. Minority religious school need to be brought under the right to education. More focus on teacher training programs. Quality of education needs to be emphasized over quantity of education. Steps should be taken to make the teaching profession attractive. Society as a whole needs to be supportive of education for children without biases. Way forward. It has been 10 years since the implementation of Right to Education Act, but it can be seen that it still has a long way to be called successful in its purpose. Creation of a conducive atmosphere and supply of resources would pave the way for a better future for individual as well as the nation as whole. No detention policy. The detention policy was introduced as a part of continuous and comprehensive evaluation under the Right to Education Act in 2010. Under the policy, students up to class 8 are automatically promoted to the next class without being held back, even if they do not get passing grade. The policy was ensure that no child admitted in a school shall be held back in any class or expelled from school until the completion of elementary education. But recently it has been removed by Right to Education Amendment Act 2009. Thank you very much.